This is Becca from Studio B Photography, and I'm going to show you how to use the background fade and smoother action. I've already cleaned up our subject's little bum and some of the fuzz spots on the background, and just did some minor retouching. As you can see, there's the original. He had a little red bum, and I corrected all that. So now we're here and we're ready to do the backdrop. And first, what you want to do is take your preferred selection method. Mine is Quick Selection Tool, which is in a Photoshop CS6 and I believe Elements 11. You can also use Magic Wand and select the color and then brush this off later, or you can use the magnetic lasso, or you can even freehand it, as long as you try to keep the edges close to your subject. But I use the Quick Selection Tool, and as you can see, it's selected as hat, which we don't want, but I'll fix that here in a second. I always bring it down to the sides of the baby so that the fade comes forward and looks more natural. And as you see, it's selected the whole thing, so fix that real quick. And I'll take it off of his hat. Okay. So we have the backdrop selected that we wanted, and then the next step, we go up to the background fade smoother action, click on the background fade smoother action, and we'd hit play and run it. That takes about 30 seconds on my computer to run, so I went ahead and ran that. And this is exactly what it looks like as soon as it stops running. So as you can see, here was where the selection line was and the fade stops. And so to fix that, I click on the fade layer, switch to my brush. I use the larger soft brush, set to black and 100% opacity, and I just brush under that line. And that just cleans up that line right there. And I brush under that line too. And that took care of that problem. Now I go to the saver layer, and not always, sometimes you may get a halo. Usually don't, especially when it's a very solid color, or sometimes you might have some really stubborn wrinkles that show through the halo. I have a little bit of a halo right here, so you just take your brush at 100% opacity, set to black and soft, and brush right over that halo. I think that's about it. So from there, we've done everything we need to do with the background fade smoother action. It's really that easy. Now, the reason I like it is because it gives a natural look. You can see the texture through the background as it fades off. Now, if you have a stubborn wrinkle or something, you can always clean that out first. Or if you have, part of the wall showing where the blanket, stopped or something like that, you can color that in with your blanket. The same color as your blanket. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then run the action, and it'll look just like this. But like I said, if you have a stubborn action, you don't want that texture showing for any reason, you can click the fade booster, and that's going to fill that in. And then just brush the edges off here like you did on the fade booster. Don't have to worry about the halo because you already took care of that. And or you can even select the area and run the action again if you'd like it even smoother. That's also an option. And like I said, the reason I like this action and why I've always done my photos this way is because it leaves a natural fade. The shadows are still there. It's not like painting in a fake background like so many tutorials tell you how to do. I've always hated that. And this one also leaves the natural vignetting, as you can see. The only thing that we do get with it is this banding right here, and especially on darker colors you'll see the banding. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. So let's go ahead and flatten the image, and then we're going to click on the Bye Bye Banding. And we'll hit stop. Now in Elements 11, the show banding option does not work. Now all it is to help you see the banding better. It's not even used to remove the banding actually. You do all the removal of the banding on the Vanish banding layer. So we're going to click on the mask, And we're going to set the brush to white, and we're going to set it pretty large. Okay, not that large. And we're going to brush around this edge. And I set it to feather, so it's okay if it gets a little bit on your subject. You want a more natural fall off anyway. Let's bring that down. And then just brush all across that background layer where that banding is. And then I'm going to go ahead and uncheck the show banding layer as soon as it lets me. Here we go. And as you can see, all that banding is gone. And I'm going to go ahead and reduce that to about 55% because the banding's still gone and it just makes it not quite as thick. Now, the banding will show up in print if you leave it in there, especially with dark backdrops. So I suggest using the Vanish banding layer. It adds a little bit of a texture to it anyway, which I like. But other than that, I just flatten my image and that's it. That's how easy it is. It's all done. And took out a lot of the work for you. And thank you from back at Studio B.